Yomu, Chryso, Fred. The names of 3 of the 6 characters that will serve as the roster of my tag team fighter roguelike. But what distinguishes one from the other? How do you create characters that support certain playstyles while discouraging others? This is a question that ought to be considered when creating a fighter of any kind. Ergo, my game. So, what's my solution? Fighting game character rosters usually consist of a plethora of characters. Sometimes so many that one might find themselves wondering, how do developers come up with new, never before seen characters? Well, they don't. At least not entirely. Zangief from Street Fighter, King from Tekken, Beowulf from Skullgirls. They all look different and probably feel different to play. But at the same time, something seems to unite all their playstyles. The grab. The grappler is an archetype focused on getting up close and personal and dealing massive damage through command grabs. They're tanky and deal high damage, but find themselves lacking in the movement category, which only makes it harder to close the gap. The grappler is just one of a medley of archetypes in fighting games. Archetypes are basically ultimate stereotypes which in fighting games serve as templates when creating characters that should play a certain way. Of course, you'd rarely ever see an archetype completely expressed in a character. Most of the time, characters draw from multiple archetypes, which only helps to make them more unique. If you do want to learn more about archetypes in fighting games, there's an awesome video from YouTuber Adventure, which I've linked in the description, that really helped me understand them and how I can use them in my game. Speaking of my game, what kind of archetypes do the characters in my game even represent? There are 6 characters in my game: Yomu, Chryso, Fred, Alicent, Emilia, and Timolin. 3 of which you've already seen in the intro, and who will be the 3 characters this video concerns itself with. Yomu, a carefree brawler who treats time like a toy. Chryso, a swordsman devoted to precision. And Fred, a chess master who treats everyone else as pawns. Now of course, fighting game archetypes don't exactly perfectly translate to my game, seeing as you aren't fighting people, but AIs, and so archetypes in my game only matter in how they relate to the creation of combos. Yomu, Mr. Rushdown. He's all about chasing down opponents to start combos. His specialty lies in how easily he can start combos, but he's also a bit of a glass cannon, doing good damage but being easily downed if you're not careful. His kit consists of combo starters like his Temporal Trit, a flying knee that's amazing for starting combos and can track down opponents with the help of Yomu's special, Time Mark, or his Skilled Throw, which launches enemies right up into the air, perfectly setting up a ground bounce. Also, something to note is that character kits in my game refer to what moves a character can unlock during a run. Characters start with 1 starting move, which you pick out of 4, and go on to close off their 4-move roster from a selection that includes the 3 moves you didn't pick at the start and 2 rare moves, which are, well, rare. Other than that, moves can also be upgraded in a skill tree-like fashion with different paths, which only serve to add more diversity to your runs. So keep that in mind while I explain the other characters. Chryso, the Zoner. He strikes down foes from a safe distance. He's great at ending combos with big AoEs, but lacks in the damage and speed department. He's also great at juggling multiple opponents at once since most of his moves are AoEs. His kit contains flashy combo enders, like his Space Slash, a long-range AoE slash that can be buffed by his Pinnacle, basically his ultimate, to make it even more long-range, or his Claw Stitch, a multi-attack that ends in a powerful upward slash that sends opponents flying. And finally, there's Fred. He can't really be sufficiently defined by any one archetype. He's a mix between a bully and a mix-up character. He's all about setting up combos for others or himself, using his moves and their variants. His kit includes moves that help enforce his control of the battlefield, like Rook, a shoulder charge that pushes enemies back, or in its variant form, Fortress, a defensive move that serves to protect him from a single attack. Or the Sicilian Defense, a move that grants Fred hyper armor, allowing him to go ahead with his plans, ignoring the actions of opponents. Their playstyles usually end up enhancing each other. Yomu is great at starting combos, but is really feeble, so you might need Fred's help to set it up. Meanwhile, Chriso is awesome at ending combos, but needs help starting them, which is Yomu's expertise. That's not to say that their roles are perfectly defined. More often than not, you find characters fulfilling different roles than you'd expect them to. After all, even in fighting games, a character lacking in a certain department doesn't stop them from becoming someone's main. But two heads are always better than one, and mastery over multiple characters and the usage of them in sync ends up being the mark of a skilled player. So yeah, that's how I'm designing characters for my Tag-Team Roguelike. I'm making sure to keep their rolling combos in mind and basing their moves on fighter archetypes like grapplers and rushdowns. Now, actually getting around to implementing these moves, that's for another time. Anyways, if you did enjoy this devlog, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Till we meet again.